We'll get started with DeMichael.
Brad,
Yes.
what was it? What was it from, Jaren Jackson Jr. today? I mean, you spoke about, what he's done defensively, even when he was struggling offensively. But how was he able to go to another level offensively today from your perspective and do the things that he did?
Well, one of the great things about him is he's so versatile. We play him at 4, we play him at 5, and Steven Adams is such a big part of us. But without him, he got more minutes at the 5 today, and I really think that helps him offensively. It really causes problems for other teams, and they struggled with how to handle him today. Just with Zubac, they wanted to put a smaller guy on him. I mean, and then he can just bully him and get to him. So he's just so versatile and so talented, and. But we needed him to step up today, and he obviously did. And how about the 5 blocks? I mean, that's incredible. I thought he was physical. Was with Zubac down there a couple of times on rebounds, and I was really proud of the way he played.
All right, Terry Davis.
How you doing, Coach?
I feel great. How you feeling?
Okay. Hey, question. When Dylan went down so early, how did that affect your game plan, and how special was it the bench players taking up the slack for him not being there?
Yeah, poor Dylan. He's having a tough season with the injuries and COVIDs and stuff. He worked so hard to get back last game, and then because he's so good for us defensively. And when he went down early, he's a big part. Obviously, you guys know that we have a lot of our rotations built around him, whether from a starting point of view or part of the reason he was in when he was in is he was in with the second group trying to give them a punch. So we had to adjust on the fly. I thought D'Anthony Melton did a good job. Zaire Williams did a really good job of stepping in and playing his minutes for us. And exciting for those 2 young guys. Melt coming back off the COVID. Even though his numbers shooting weren't great today, I thought he really helped change the game in the first half with his pace and force. They were really trying to be physical with us early in the game. And when Melt came in, he kind of just started ducking his head and getting the basket, and that loosened us up some. And then Zaire, he was fantastic today. So excited for those guys, 2 guys to step in and play well.
Drew Hill.
Brad, they started shooting really hot. So just curious, what were you saying to the team after that first quarter when it felt like they couldn't miss?
Well, 2 things. Yeah, they were hot, and we just talked about it. We said, God, they came out hot. And you know what? I didn't think our defense was poor, but I didn't think we were physical enough and aggressive enough feeling them. And, Morris comes out. He's such a good offensive player. And, the one thing we want him to do is beat us off the dribble, not shooting threes. And, he came out making threes, and then Batum made some. So we adjusted a little bit on our coverages with those guys to try to get them off the 3-point line. And we just told our guys, you got to stay the course. I mean, they played great in the first quarter. I mean, and I didn't think we were necessarily bad, but they were just really, really good. And we just said, hey, we got to stay the course, and we'll flip it on them. And our guys, you guys have watched this. Our guys do that. Our guys are just resilient. And for the most part, we play hard and try to play the right way, and usually gives us a chance to win.
Parker Fleming.
Hey, Brad, it just seems like over the course of this season, we've seen it past 3 seasons as well. It's just Tyus is just really finding that balance of leveraging his floater game for his playmaking and vice versa. Just what does that do for the offense when teams really have to kind of pick their poison on his attack?
Yeah, I mean, he's had a really good stretch for us in the last, 2 weeks or so. I mean, he's been good all year long, but he's really stepped up his game in the last 2 weeks. And then with Job being out today, obviously he plays an even bigger role. And that floater of his is incredible, huh? I mean, I don't think you teach that. As much as us coaches work on player development, I think he figured that out at an early age. And it's amazing the shots he makes with that floater. But big time player for us, especially today with what we needed. I mean, he's really an only point guard on the roster without Job playing.
Megan Triplett.
Brad, how is Dylan Brooks doing? And have you gotten a chance to kind of talk to him or say anything to him yet?
Yeah, he was in the locker room at halftime and post game, and his spirits were high. He's a little frustrated. He's had such injuries this plague season, and I think that our medical people said that he'll get evaluated tomorrow with whatever they do, MRIs or X-rays, and we'll have a better idea what it is. So disappointing for him.
Sean Coleman.
Coach, first off, congrats on the win and being undefeated so far in your career. The combination of Brandon Clark and Jaren Jackson Jr., I know you talked a bit earlier, a little bit about it, but just their impact. And Steven Adams, like you had mentioned during the Cleveland game, makes such a huge impact. The numbers really show a lot of excitement when Brandon Clark and Jaren Jackson Jr. are on the court in terms of their productivity. It made the difference in tonight's game.
Yes, and we kind of, when we were going through our who to start and who not to start, obviously Brandon's been really playing really well, but he comes in off the bench so well that we decided for today in particular, it may not be that way going forward, that to go ahead and keep him off the bench. And then I thought there in that second quarter when we had that big run, him and JJ out there, that was a big reason why we did it. So super excited for BC, the way he's playing here lately, and as we talked about earlier, just Jaren growing. So and they kind of have a good vibe together. That lob, that 4-5 pick and roll lob to BC, that was pretty incredible.
All right, we'll do last question. Isaac Simpson.
Hey, Coach. You spoke to this a minute ago, but it seems like no matter what adversity you guys face, was it injuries, COVID, you've had COVID issues within the coaching staff, you guys just are able to show up and walk away with wins, man. Just talk about the resiliency of this team.
I think once again, I had the question in the pregame about our culture, and I think it has to do with the type of people that Zach Kleiman and his groups brings in, and I think it has to do with Taylor Jenkins and how he builds our team out, and then the players, they believe in our system, they believe in each other. Our guys in the locker room say this all the time: is they stick together when things get tough. And it's really cool when players are talking about that in the locker room and the coaches don't have to do it. So super exciting with, especially with Dylan going down, already having Ja out. We've had all kinds of things happen the last month. And, our guys have stuck together, and as we say, we figure it out as it goes on, no matter what happens.
All right, thanks, Brad.
Thank you.